What's going on, boys? Ricky, mute yourself. What's going on, boys? How are we doing? Let's get right into this. We got a bunch of charts to go over, a bunch of earnings to look at afterwards. So let's just get right into it. Let's go right into SPY. Another bullish day. We've been ripping up since last Thursday. It's just been running. This is a melt-up market, boys. It's very, very hard to short this market. You got to play what the trend is, and right now we have switched the trend back to bullish. Why do I say that? It's because we got over our bounce points that I've been talking about this whole time. We hit all-time highs back here at 352.60 on September 2nd. Ever since then, the market's been in pullback zone. Look at that. We hit all-time highs and then just straight down for like a month, almost 2 months now. What happens is in a bear market, you have wicked rallies in a bear market. So what happens is you dump down, all these shorts get squeezed out on a wicked rally here. They set a lower high and then a lower low and then a lower high, but we did not get a lower low. We changed the trend. We put in a higher low and then we put in a higher high. So that means we were trying to change the trend back in the favor of the bulls, and right now we have. Why do I say that? We got over the main point of 441.68, which is the first bounce attempt. And then the second bounce attempt at 444.89, we flew right past that on Thursday as well. Friday continuation, took out Thursday's highs, today even higher. So the only level left to the upside on SPY is the all-time high, which is 452.60. Other than that, everything is bullish. To the downside, you'd probably want to see it hold today's low. To the upside is all-time highs. Other than that, everything looks fantastic. Very hard to short this market. It's a melt-up market. I hope I'm talking. No one messaged today. That's weird. Yeah, so here's QQQ. Big rip after hours. Netflix crushed earnings. Subscriber growth, I think they probably guided up too, especially with the way QQQ is moving right now. QQQ was a laggard yesterday. SPY actually got through the bounce attempts before, where QQQ wasn't even through them yesterday. So QQQ finally got over the second bounce attempt yesterday. Again, the only resistance left on QQQ is all-time highs, 382.35. Let's see if we can get up there. And the first support you need to be watching is today's low. Other than that, everything looks bullish. Everything looks great. We are in a melt-up market. What's going on, Marcel? Andrew's in here. XLF, strongest of all the sectors. Why do I say that? It's at all-time highs. Hammer candle to all-time highs today. It's weird to think that we're in a pandemic, the economy is getting destroyed, but banks are at all-time highs. But it is what it is. Sometimes the stock market moves it has nothing to do with the economy. Kritik, Vinay, I have a lot of charts, so I'm just going to go over them. We have all those on tap. Do not worry. IWM, the weakest sector so far. Why do I say weakest? We're still just kind of sideways. While QQQ and SPY and XLF are all bouncing big, IWM still under this little resistance here. We closed today at 225.87. Again, IWM has the biggest upside move. In my opinion, IWM will move the most to the upside. If we get a melt up all the way to December, IWM will lead the way. I still say that, and I still think that. Just because the weekly, the monthly, we have a huge bull flag and a huge base forming up here. And as you see, if we do break out this base, which would be around 232.65. If we take out 232.65, it's going to be a massive, massive move. We're probably going to go to 270 by the end of the year on IWM. Small caps are lagging the rest of the market. They're relatively cheaper than the rest of the market. So if the market will melt up, IWM will lead the way, in my opinion. Right now, it doesn't look like it, but you guys will see if I'm right or wrong. But if I am right, those 235 calls for December, those are going to be double digits at least. I'm going to sell them for double digits. Let's see what happens. VIX at the lows. So again, we went over this already on VIX. The VIX was trying to do a trend change. It set a higher low, a higher high, higher low, higher high. But then it couldn't crack this higher high here. It couldn't crack 28.90. It quit and rolled over. We lost the lows. So the daily trend change is done. It did not change the trend on the weekly or longer time frames. We broke support and now we're just breaking down here. October 15th low was 1572, today's low is 1557, and we closed below October 15th low. So it looks like VIX has some more downside coming here, and the lower VIX goes, the higher the market goes usually. Daily is still not oversold or anything, doesn't look like too many red flags, but usually when the market, look at this, usually when the VIX comes this many days red, or I'm not going to even say it, whatever. Just you guys look at the own pattern yourself. When it goes a lot of days red, it usually spikes a little bit. Let's see if we get some volatility either tomorrow or on someone else's earnings. Maybe Tesla earnings will be the one to trigger it because Netflix looks pretty good right now. DXY daily broke the moving averages to the downside. 21-day moving average closed underneath the 21-day moving average for the first time since September 15th. September 15th was the last time the dollar closed below the 21-day, so it looks bearish again. It was just a bear flag over the moving average, finally broke down. They did buy the dip a little bit. Let's see if we get some more downside momentum to 93.24, which is a 50-day moving average. Yields, they actually at the high of the day, which is very kind of weird to me. Usually tech does not rip when the yields are at 165. So keep an eye on these on tech tomorrow. It's kind of weird that it's doing that. I've never really seen that a lot. But one of them cannot stay up here. Either yields has to come down or tech has to come down. It's one or the other. We're not going to have tech at all-time highs with yields at 165. I'm telling you right now. ES looks great. We never broke out my resistance that I called out this morning at 45.11. Still underneath there. Let's see if we can break it overnight. Other than that, everything looks bullish. Let's go over a couple meme plays and we'll go over into the big plays here. This is another SDC called out at the end of the day. Why did I call it? Very simple play. I don't care about the fundamentals. I don't care about anything. The only thing was technical. A lot of meme stocks were getting flow. What happened here? So you guys all know how I play by this point. You guys all know how to chart. You know what I do. What is this SDC doing? SDC. Jesus Christ. So we put in the lows back here around in August. We put in a higher low here, but then it lost that higher low right here, right? Now, are we trying to put in another higher low? If we are putting in another higher low, last time it did this, we were below the moving averages, and we got 2 days of continuation. So the first day, we had a little bit of volume come in, and we had that was a 15.55% day, okay? The next day, we had a 15% day as well on increased volume. So this is a 2-day little turnaround after a big dump. So big dump down, 1 day up on normal volume. You could call it a little above normal volume. And then the next day we got follow through and then it just dumped off again. So this is the same kind of pattern here. Big dump off. Is this day one? Well, look at this. Almost the exact same amount of volume as this day. And do we get increased bull volume and another big move tomorrow is the question. If we do, we'll get paid on those calls. If we don't, they go to zero. That's why I went to light on them. That's the only thing I care about tomorrow, follow through or not. SDC, nice little close here. We had a big rip with the rest of the meme stocks here. Other than that, closed higher than we opened. It's a green day. Again, SDC, there's no red flags for me here yet. I know the options aren't moving quite as much, but this move is different than all the other times. So what happened is, let me just show you right here. Every time we've broken out of resistance, it's kind of just went sideways and then dumped back down. Right now, there's no indication of that happening yet. I mean, we broke out, we're going sideways. Let's see if we hold up here. So if we lose today's low, I will cut those calls immediately just because it's the same pattern. So falling wedge breakout, as long as we're above this low, we're fine. If we lose this low, then it's gone. So that's all I'm watching for on skills. It is pretty low. I mean, how low can it go? Stochastics are just trying to curl up. Let's see if we get a move up here. Same numbers still apply, 943 and 1053 to the upside. To the downside, if we close below, or if we look like we're closing below $9 now, I'm going to cut them. I'm getting enough room. ATVI, I seen a massive flow order on this one. Also, I think it looks like it's bottoming out. Also, we crossed above both the moving averages on a huge hammer candle. I mean, volume's not ideal at this point, but we did close above both moving averages for the first time in a while. Let's see if we can reverse here and head higher. We have a lot of time on our calls. They weren't relatively cheap. I like the Greeks on them. So I took ATVI. Let's see what happens. My goals right now, first sell will probably be at $79, which is a 50-day moving average. Second sell will be $82, which is the volume shelf. Other than that, ATVI looks like we're going to get paid if the market stays up. Amazon, weird start today. It was red pre-market where every other big tech company was green. It was very odd to me. But I mean, we held up fine. It looks great. It closed above that 34, 32 level that I had drawn from somewhere. I don't know where I drew it from, but I'm sure it's an important level. I have it drawn on my chart. I just did skills, Vinay. Thank you for paying attention. It was very nice of you. So Amazon very strong today. I mean, this one could go tomorrow. I sold my calls personally just because I was in so many profits from Fastly. I just didn't want to look at the red in my account. Didn't really care for it. Lost a little bit on it, but my Fastly more than made up for it. As long as a bunch of other plays come on, like Fastly was crushing. STC looked like it was good. LC is up. RTX is up. What else I got on here? SC just absolutely smashing everything. MasterCard was one I really wanted. LRCX we banked on as well. So Amazon just sideways. A lot of the time when Amazon just holds sideways, it's just getting ready for a big move. So let's see if we get a big move on Amazon. Tomorrow, if we do get over 34.50, I will probably jump in those 3500s again. I know, but I will. Play of the day, play of the week, play of the month, Fastly. I told you guys it was getting $50 today, and we opened today at 44.34. So we got a $6 move in Fastly today. We got over 700% on the $47 calls this month, I believe. Over 400% on the $44 calls for October 29th, and over almost 300% on the $45 calls for next week. So Fastly looks absolutely fantastic. News came out just like I thought it would. As soon as we broke out of 41, we were in the calls. We were in 3 layers, and we were just banking today, taking profits. Fantastic trade, great trade. I might roll out tomorrow. Let's see what happens. LC, strong end of the day, weak start to the day, but look at this daily candle, pretty good. They bought the dip right off the 8-day moving average at 32.54. Low of the day was 33.86. So 30 cents off the moving average, or 20 cents off the moving average. They started buying the dip on LC, and we closed right near that resistance line at 34. The only thing that matters to me on this trade, that's why I gave myself so much time, is the weekly chart. As long as we close over 34 this week on LC, I am very, very confident this trade is going to pay us a lot. SoFi, finally a little pullback after a massive rip off this $16 level straight to 21. So a $5 move on a $16 stock is massive. This stock, I'm not comfortable buying it here for any kind of position. I would wait till it comes back down to the 8-day at the very least, which is 1981, and I prefer under 18. 18 or under would be my ideal entry. 18 is where the 200-day moving average is. Other than that, it's a little bit extended right now. I will let it chill and revisit later. RTX broke the highs today, I believe. 91.38. Today was 91.49. Highest close that I see on RTX on TradingView. I know some other brokers show different prices, but I'm going with TradingView because it shows me on TradingView 91.23 close. Never closed that high before, I believe. Yep, never closed above 91 before, and today we did. We're just kind of basing out here. It's a very bullish setup. The calls aren't moving for some reason, but let's see what happens. We still got a week and a half. Not much volume up here either. Let's see. I think once it takes out this little flag with some kind of volume, I think it flies. Let's see what happens. Melly, beautiful bounce. I mean, it still is just a bounce. Like I told you guys, we're not going to bounce right back to all-time highs. We need to set a higher low somewhere around here. So a higher daily low is coming. Let's see when it consolidates and starts to form a higher daily low. The ideal situation for me on Melly right now would be another couple day rip up, and then exactly where my arrow is drawn, for it to consolidate right into this volume shelf, and then we take calls and it rips right through this big volume gap right here. So that's ideal. Let's see if what we can get. If anyone in MyStockLife sees this, let me know, because I watch a lot of charts and sometimes I miss some stuff. So if Melly comes into this gap, reverses and sets a higher daily low right on this volume shelf around 16.19, 16.20, I am very, very interested in the stock, and please call it out and let me know. Facebook looked great this morning, not too much follow through. Big news with Coinbase this morning. They're using Coin for a digital wallet. We got a little pullback. We're holding the new level now. Like I told you guys, as soon as we're over 328, it's going to run fast to 338. It did, and then we got the coin news, gapped over, and now we're just kind of stuck between the volume shelf and this level here. So let's see which one it breaks first. Over 343 on Facebook, we probably go right back to 356. So 343, 356 to the upside. If we break to the downside 318, again, we're going back down. Or no, if we break 338 to the downside, we're going back to 328. So those are the levels for Facebook if you want to play it. Moderna just stuck in my range as well right now. Big bounce. We're still in that little supply zone. Rejected right off my line here at 349. So over 349, it can go to 363. Under 323, we can go straight back down to 290. So those are levels for Moderna there. You can write them down. You can do whatever you want with them, but it just looks like it's range bound right now. AMD held up fine, closed green, took out yesterday's high. It's at 117. I was talking about buying 105 calls back here for when it was at like 103 bucks. So let's see what happens to AMD, but it does look strong. The only level I see left is the all-time high. LRCX earnings are tomorrow after close. Those will affect AMD. So watch. If it reports good, a good number, we'll probably send AMD right back to all-time highs, 122.50. Other than that, SE, absolute monster. What can you say about this one? Inverse head and shoulders, breakout to all-time highs, and I don't know when this one stops. There's no resistance up here, so let's see. It's blue sky breakout on SE. Tesla just kind of sideways. People are waiting for earnings to make a move on this one. Let's see what happens. Nothing really to talk about. The charge is a little extended. UPST destroyed at the end of the day. I mean, they signed a deal with Berkshire Hathaway. That's fucking massive. Let's see what happens with UPST. I mean, it's been running for 2 months now, so I don't know. Remember, sometimes stocks get so much good news, they go on such a big run. When the good news stops affecting the stock, that's usually very bearish. Like you've seen on Moderna, PFE, Pfizer, all the vaccine names, they were getting good news every single day, and the stock would just continue to dump. We're getting good news through this whole thing. FDA approvals, booster shots, old people can take shots, children can take shots, and just every day down. That means everything was priced in on this run. So that's kind of like the same thing that's happening on Upstart, in my opinion, right now. Obviously, we need more time. It's just one piece of bad news, good news that it didn't react to. Huge run up, signed by Berkshire Hathaway, one of the biggest companies in the world, and it didn't even make an effect. We were down 4.2%. If it does not reverse off the 8-day moving average and go higher, I think this one has a lot farther to fall. We'll look for entry around the 21-day again like we did here. If patterns repeat, we should get paid 328.16. If we do keep reversing here on UPST, look for 328 entries with tight stops, because obviously it can still go under there. But that's where it would get me interested. 328 on UPST. MasterCard looks absolutely fantastic. Ricky jumped in some calls at the end of the day. I really wanted to, but I went really heavy on ATVI. I do that sometimes. That's why I told you to listen to him for risk management and not me, because I'm kind of nuts. MasterCard closed above this key level of 360 here. There's also a 200-day moving average here at 360. So we closed above everything. Green day. Took out the resistance, closed above. Let's see if we can get follow through on MasterCard. I will be looking to play a big position on MasterCard, but right now with that ATVI in my account, I don't really want to go too heavy. So just personally for me, I'm waiting. If I get a little dip, I might jump in. Let's see what happens. Other than that, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, I love them all. They're all seasonally strong at this time. LRCX took 600 calls for a run-up into possible earnings. And look at what it did today. This is from the open. Ripped up sideways. Oh, no, that was yesterday. So yesterday, ripped up sideways, dipped down this morning, and then sideways, rip up, and look at where it stopped. It stopped right at my number is 577.99. The stock stopped at 577.94. Why do I have this line drawn? I drew this line so long ago. It's just my demand zone here. See how the price was having a really hard time breaking through here, really hard time breaking through here, really hard time breaking through here, really hard time breaking down through here. Same thing pattern over and over again. So obviously there's someone or a lot of people actually that are buying and selling at that level, the 578 level. So what did I do today? I was up like 50 or 60% on my calls. As soon as we got near that level, I started selling, sold a bunch, looked back at it, completely dumped down. Let's see if we can run tomorrow into close. We do have LRCX earnings at the close tomorrow. So that's all I wanted to go over. We had an amazing week. We had an amazing last week. PDD, I'll do PDD for Dinesh too, but then I gotta go. It's already been half an hour. PDD, I have a chart drawn out for this one as well. If you guys can see, very clear descending resistance here. Very, very clear zone where they start taking profits or flipping short. There's 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like too many to count here. So very clear resistance lines here. Today we did close above the 1, so what do we need tomorrow or later this week? We need to close above $100. Over $100 on PDD gets this one running like Baba and the rest of them. Over 100 close. And other than that, I mean, China's strong, tech is strong, Fastly's the strongest. Hit $50, by the way, I've been saying it all day. Other than that, I mean, we had an amazing couple weeks here. Let's see what Netflix opens up at tomorrow. If it opens up green, QQQ will open up pretty green, which will probably take Google and Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Nvidia, everything with it. So let's see if let's hope Netflix can hold its gains. Thank you guys for attending. Do not throw your money away just because you made a lot of money this week. Be profitable. I mean, be careful with your money. Keep it in your pocket. Only play the best setups. Don't get too excited. And I will see you guys in the morning. Thank you for attending.